So good afternoon. Good to see you all. We're obviously working through our OTAs here and just had a really good practice today. Thank the players again for their participation when I broke them down. You know, and also the time and attention they're really spending on not only the football side of it, but the relationship side, to getting to know each other, spending time with each other outside the building. We think that's an important part for that, as well as getting to know the coaches better. We have a lot of new faces on our football team the last 2 years, like 35 different guys, that have been coming through the draft and free agency. So it's important to build that chemistry. And I think we've done an outstanding job of that this offseason. Participation's been up. It's been really good, so we're excited about where we are. A lot of situations today. We did a lot of third down today. We did 2-minute at the end of the half. We saw that. Really good operation by the one offense to move the ball down the field and kick a field goal. One defense played good against the twos, and that was pretty exciting to see. With that, I'll open up to questions. Yeah. Yeah, Eddie has worked his tail off to get back to where he is. He's in really good shape for working with the rehab staff, and I want to commend those guys, the training staff, of getting him back, and commend Eddie also for the hard work that he's put in to get to this point. And we started him off with individual, yesterday or the day before, and then he's been working into some team reps now. So he's been doing a good job with that. Yeah, I would just say last year Eddie had an outstanding training camp. So by example, the leadership by example, we always say that's the first thing you have to do. Our best players have to be the hardest workers, and he didn't miss a day. And he was humming during training camp and got himself into great physical shape. The best you can get into. It's hard to get into game shape in training camp. You got to start playing games, but so that was it. And then he's just a vocal guy, and the success he's had in the past and the success he had last year going in before his injury says volumes for him. And Jaquan saw that, and that's really the best part of it is really the look he gave.
Matt, last year we were talking about a clean slate for Eddie Jackson, and obviously took advantage of that. Going from where he was to then, you're giving him offseason awards like the Ball Hawk Award, and now working through this injury to get back. As you reflect on that whole scope of Eddie's past year, what are your takeaways? What are your impressions of that?
Yeah, just impressed with his work ethic, and his, the ability to handle adversities, and he's had that throughout his whole career. Coming out of college, he had that. He's had it in, some different avenues in his life, and he's just a strong man. And I just commend him for standing on solid ground. And he's done a really good job of coming back from that. He looks at adversity as opportunity, and I think that's a great way to look at it. When you see adversity hits, he sees opportunity to show greatness, and to get stronger.
Coach, now that you got Eddie Jackson back, Jalen Johnson back here today, Halas Hall into nickel, how soon would you ideally like to solidify that other corner spot? Is something that you can see going all the way to week 1, or would you ideally like to get it settled sooner?
Yeah, that's the great thing with competition. It kind of just reveals itself, so I don't have the answer to that. Obviously, we like sooner better than later. If it reveals itself soon, we will make the move. And we like the young corners that we have and the corners we currently have, before that. And we'll see where it goes.
Did Nate Davis get back earlier this week? Or how long?
Yeah, Nate's been back. Yep, Nate's been back, and he looks great. He's really worked himself into a position and looks lean. He's moving well, and we're excited where he is.
Did you guys have specific goals for kind of where you want to be as a team? I know you do a lot of work with.
Yeah, we have specific goals for everybody. So all the goals. Guys will leave here with specific goals for the summer. They'll come back with a weight they have to be at, a body fat they have to be at, and they all know that. And we talked about that yesterday with the strength staff and performance staff, and those guys will be notified that coming up next week.
Is there anything more you can tell us about Darnell Mooney's status? Do you expect him to be full go by the time you guys get back here for training camp?
Yeah, I can just say this, that Darnell's working his tail off, and he's right on track. He's right on track, and we anticipate him going, and as soon as possible. He's going to have a great summer. I know he's really amped up for that summer to get ready for training camp, so we'll see where it is. And barring any setbacks, he'll be ready.
Right on track for training camp.
Yeah, Darnell will be ready for that.
With Jalen Johnson, when was your first in-person
With
conversation?
Jalen?
Johnson?
In person?
Yeah, when did you first talk to him this week?
Yeah, when he got in on the first day. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where do things stand between you and him?
Great. He's great. The one thing that he did, he was working, and he came back ready. And we kind of always ramp guys in, so we ramped him into individual, and now we're ramping him into the reps for team reps.
Matt, the NFL had another incident involving gambling
Yeah.
this week with the Colts. I'm curious, as the head coach, how much is that on your radar, and how confident are you that there's clarity with your players about what is allowed, what is not, and what the rules?
Yeah, so when the one incident came up, I don't know how long ago that was, when it came up, the first incident, with a couple teams, yeah. And that came up, and we immediately talked about it the next day and went through the rules, what we're allowed to do and not to do as players. And we'll do something again next week. So next week we'll actually have an official NFL group come in. We're going to do that midweek next week, and it's one of the mandatory presentations that the NFL gives, and they're going to come in and do that. I think it's the appropriate time.
Matt, when you did the initial talk about that, is that something you lead or someone else in the building leads that conversation?
I lead it. Yeah, I lead it. Anything that comes up with that issue with players, I'm gonna lead that charge. And if obviously I elicit help throughout the building, the staff members that have expertise in that field, we'll definitely do that. Our rules guy and those types of things.
I don't know if worrisome is the right word, but how worrisome is it as a coach to have to kind of navigate this territory that's relatively new and has a lot of potholes, I guess?
Yeah, it's hard to navigate, because it's hard to control other people's actions, but all you can do is educate, and then tell them the appropriate actions they can do with certain things.
Okay.
Great. All right, y'all have a good afternoon.